Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of this week's Stoke. I'm super excited because the fire is burning big as we've been bringing on the Stoke recently with all these awesome interviews, and today will not disappoint. Today is also super fun for me because it's the first time that I've actually gotten to talk to this athlete as well, and he's somebody that I've been following along his entire career. So it is really cool and very exciting for me to welcome Luke Winters here today, who just had his best result in Adelboden, but that's not the end for him, and he's definitely going to prove to us how important it is to be determined and fight through results and shows that success does come. So Luke, thank you so much for coming on today. It's really awesome to be able to chat with you, and I'm excited to dive into some of these questions.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So I guess really the way to start out is, can you talk a little bit about your story? How did you get to here? I know that you're from Oregon, and so you have maybe a different path. And so I think it makes sense to really just jump right in there.
Yeah, so I grew up in Gresham, Oregon. I have, my dad ski raced a little bit in high school, but I don't have a long history of ski racing in my family, and my mom, I don't think, has ever skied. So I have a twin brother who I grew up ski racing with, and we started racing when we were 5 or 6, I think, at Mount Hood, and then went through Mount Hood, Mighty Might program, and went to Mount Hood Academy for a couple years. And then we both went down to Sugar Bowl Academy, and that's where I graduated high school. And then after high school, I made the national training group, they called it back then. It was kind of like the development team with the ski team. And I've did that for a few years, and then made the national team, made the B team, and kind of started racing World Cup. And here I am 3 years after that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think explaining, like, Mount Hood is an iconic mountain, I feel like, for ski racers in the US, especially young kids. And so to be from that area and grow up skiing in Mount Hood, you definitely must have a soft spot for that place. I know I do, and I don't even go there, only in the summer. So definitely a fun thing to have that in your back pocket. And do you get to go back often? Is that still your summer spot?
Yeah, I love it. I love Oregon. We do ski there still in the summertime, which my teammates will tell you that I'm always, saying that it's so good, but we all know how Mount Hood is. But I love it. There's so much to do in Oregon. I'm glad that, I grew up there, and I actually didn't really ski much in the summer because I was playing other sports. So I just didn't realize how lucky I was to have that in my backyard.
No way. So
Yeah.
I think really moving from here, we have to now dive back to last season, because that's where stuff is really starting to come together for you. And so let's kind of talk through Val D'Isere. You made this amazing first run, coming down in second. And it's really funny because you came like huge jump. And everyone's like, holy smokes, he did it. He's in second. And so taking that, and yes, I understand, like, second run didn't go as well, but did having that speed in the first run really just remind you, like, oh, I'm in it. I'm here to do well. Like, this is everything paying off. How does that kind of motivate you moving into this season?
Yeah, it's always nice to have the speed and to show the speed, but obviously it takes 2 runs. But that was actually 2 seasons ago that I did that. And it definitely was a confidence booster. And I was fast in Levy, and I was fast in Val D'Isere that season. But I knew that I needed to find the consistency, and I knew that there were some things in my skiing that I needed to figure out. So, and that obviously didn't happen super quickly then. But over the last 2 years, I've slowly been working on those things and finding the consistency and finding the speed on all sorts of hills and terrain and snow conditions, etc. So.
Well, you definitely did. And I think that's the perfect transition to talk about Adelboden. Holy smokes. Congratulations. Top 10. That's amazing. And on an awesome hill too. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels awesome. I've had some success here in the past as far as, making second runs and stuff. And my second runs haven't been great in the past. So this year, after that first run, I just said, I'm not skiing slow no matter what I do. So to put it through the finish line and also ski fast was big for me. yeah, moving forward, we got slalom after slalom. So I'm excited
Yeah.
to hopefully take that speed in the next couple of races.
Yeah, you definitely have a cool lineup for the next couple of races. Definitely a good time to try and capitalize on that momentum. Can you talk us through a little bit of how the Adelboden slalom goes? What was your plan going into it? What was the snow like, the weather? A lot of people really only get to see it from the screen. So it's really beneficial to be able to hear like, oh, I set up for this spot. Oh, it's really steep here through the finish, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's actually pretty moderate out of the start. And you can hammer pretty hard out of the start. It's not like it's just pretty moderate, but then there's some big rolls that this year it was set pretty simple first run, and second run it was set a little bit more tough. So, those rolls played, there was more of a factor there on the second run. But then once you get on that flat in the middle, you obviously can make a lot of speed, and that's where I've done well in the past. And so I knew going in that I could be fast there, and around that corner it like starts to break over, but before it gets really steep, there's, I don't know, 6 or 8 gates, and you're constantly fighting those left footers. But you can still you can fight hard there and make a lot of time up. And so that's kind of what I did both runs through there. And then down that pitch, you just got to survive for 4 or 5 gates, because it is really steep and it falls out from under you. But you just got to make it through there, and then it's pretty moderate to the finish. But yeah, it's a fun hill, and it's so cool coming down into the finish with all the fans. It's like it's coming down into a stadium, and the fans are awesome here. And I don't know if it was because we haven't really had fans the last couple of years, but it was super cool to see everybody cheering, and then to watch, those Swiss guys come down after me, and they're going crazy. So yeah, that was awesome to see.
That's amazing. And you moved from bib 43, right? Up to 18th your first run?
Yep.
So that being said, how was the snow condition? Does it change? Like, did you feel like it was able to support you moving all the way from 43 to 18?
Yeah, it was pretty solid ice in inspection, and it wasn't super cold, but it did start to break up a little bit, and there was a little bit of a groove. But the groove was fairly smooth, and so many people broke in from outside the 30. So that kind of tells us that it was pretty smooth. I don't know if anybody saw those machines that like grind the groove out here that they have. I don't know. I've never really seen that, but maybe that made the groove smoother as well. So yeah, it was pretty smooth.
That's awesome. So now I think really taking this momentum into the rest of the season, what is your plan as we are in an Olympic year? They're cutting down the number of guys you can take. Do you have a shot to fight for one of those spots?
Yeah, I definitely have a shot. But we got to race all the way through, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, yeah, people have heard that they're taking less guys, so it is tougher. But there's only one thing I can do, and that's ski fast. So we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. But yeah, obviously I would love to, compete at the Olympics and then finish off the rest of the season in Europe after that.
Well, I think you have the right mindset. Focus on the speed, focus on the skiing, and it shows right now. So that's amazing, and we'll be rooting for you. So I kind of want to take a different stance now and really kind of take the conversation into talking about determination and really how ski racing is a tough sport. In one, you only really have some good results sometimes, and a lot of the time it's really frustrating. And I think on the World Cup stage, it's really tough because you don't make second runs as often as you would hope to. How do you stay in a good mindset to be able to continue to push after these goals and realize that the success is going to come, but it may take a little bit longer?
Yeah, I think it's obviously ski racing is incredibly tough, and I would say, and most people would agree, that most days in ski racing are not great as far as results goes. It's you're rarely winning, and so many things have to line up for you to have a great day. So that's obviously tough there, with our sport. But yeah, this is my job at this point. It's what I love to do. And I work hard all year long to be able to come out and ski my best. And, just staying consistent with my program, and, hoping and knowing that, the results are going to come and are coming. So yeah, I think just staying positive and knowing that it will come.
Yeah, I think that that's a perfect example and story to be able to share with people. You do need to stay positive. Yeah, it's tough. This sport, like you said, is brutal, but to remember that you love it and that you're passionate about it and you're fighting for these goals that you've set for yourself, I think is really important. So, Luke, I really want to thank you for your time. We're super excited to be able to cheer and support you and watch you continue to find success on the World Cup stage. Congratulations again on your top 10 at Adelboden. And we're really looking forward to seeing what you do at Wengen. And good luck. And thank you again for your time. To everybody watching, I hope you learned a little bit about how to stay determined and focus on your goals and not let anything beat you up on your way to find your success. I'll catch you all next time. Thanks.
Thank you.